A very good evening, and once again, congratulations to the TATWA team. I was slightly surprised by the introduction. I'm not a visionary leader. I've been inspired by my own leaders. So learning from Partha, I'm just trying to execute it. Maybe that was the leader and this was the execution student. So this is the time to test how I'm going to be doing. And I have my examiner sitting right down there with you. Once again, congratulations to all the TNs. It's a wonderful time that I had been with you all. Last 1 year has been very, very privileged. Lot of discussions, lot of heated arguments, a lot of disagreements, and we have come where we are. But we thought probably just to give you the bullet points, it won't be nice. Probably you should also experience a little bit of how we went through the TATWA 2.0, building out the strategy for TATWA 2.0. And that's what we will be talking. And hopefully these two gentlemen will give the same answer what they gave me. Otherwise, we don't know what was there in the deck. Right? So with that said, once again, guys, you heard from all the leaders who spoke here. This is not an unachievable dream. We used to at Mindtree call something called as welcome to possible, because we always believed in making things work for us, right? And if you have come the last 22 years, it's just going to take you to there. However, what got you in this last 22 years is not going to take you forward for the next 10 or 20 or 25, as Partha said. So it's very, very important that we understand what is TATWA 2.0. It is not just Tapen and AK's responsibility to build that. All of you, I'm not even talking about David, Smriti, some rest of the leaders. I'm talking about all you TNs. You have to come together to make this happen. Right? With that said, I'll probably set the context from a 2.0 perspective, and this all drove from the $1 billion dream. Can we build $1 billion from the Eastern India part? And can we be one of those first that sets up in the IT services space from this, this location, if you will? And this was all motivated. So, AK, the question is, what really motivated you with this thought, and how did this whole thing occur to you?
Thank you, Koushik, for the wonderful introduction starting this program. It's very close to my heart, TATWA 2.0. Way back, 4 or 5 years back, I was traveling USA. I met a very seasoned professional, ex-CEO of Infosys, Mr. Vishal Sikha. So we had a co-speaker and discussing with him. Mr. Sikha told me that TATWA perfectly positioned to be a global company. That struck me in my mind that yes, what you're doing, yes, so you have to go to next orbit. So after discussing many people like Sikha, other leaders in the industry, and it has come to mind that we 20 years we spent from 3 to 3,000 people, and we have got all ingredients to be a global company. And what I realized by that day, then Corona, me and Tapendra and Smriti and David, we are doing brainstorming on that. So and that struck to mind that yes, the first 20 years, TATWA 1.0, and next 1.0, and next 10 years is going to be a decade for TATWA 2.0, $1 billion dream.
Perfect. Thank you, AK. And as you heard, right, I mean, once again, just to reiterate that piece, whatever you did in the last 2 decades, that was just summed up into 1.0, just the first step. It took us 2 decades to do, and we are trying to take a complete lock, stock, and barrel to the next orbit. And I don't know, some of you must have been here last evening as well, and you heard from Partha, we need that escape velocity. And probably this is the time to start, and this is like with the lunar success that India had, probably this is the starting point for us, Chandrayaan. So with that said, would you help us understand what are the key elements of this strategy?
So you're asking Aishkan the easy ones and passing the difficult ones to me, is it? So no, I think it's a collective dream primarily. Second, if we talk about broad picture, to easily sum it up, I think we would have 4 phases, or we can say that to escape the velocity and go into the next orbit, we will have to first accelerate, and we have to accelerate at least 4 times. And hence I also talked about the first $100 million that needs to be achieved. And the exact of how, that will take definitely very, very long time to elaborate. But simply put, we have to act faster, and we have to expand our horizons of services and in geographies, particularly targeting the geographies which are spending the most in the IT/ITES services, which happens to be the North American region and the Middle East, and that's where we have to look at.
So thank you. So this, once again, from you, TN's perspective, this is an opportunity for you to go represent the state, represent TATWA, and be part of the global community, right? And as he said, we're looking at markets that will play, and the market, the largest market for IT, as you all know, if you don't know, just to put in perspective, that will be the Americas. So you will have the opportunity to represent more of this community there. Probably the next summit, we should have a US summit maybe, right? Mini summit. So from a current market status perspective, right? How do you think the strategy is aligning with that market dynamics?
It's a good question, Koushik. Let me tell you that we are perfectly positioned and perfectly timing to launch into international market. If you see after pandemic, after the recession started in the Western world, and a lot of big contracts are getting abolished and they are cancelled. Right here, all the big companies of the world, the customers of the world, they are looking for the company like SMEs like us, who has the potential, who has the capability to deliver and with a lesser cost and a better proposition. So this is the best time for TATWA. We think that we are the best candidate for that, and we can position ourselves as one of the most preferred vendors, service provider all across the country, and it's the right time.
Thank you. As TNs, what do you, I'm sorry, the question should be to you, tougher question, execution. As TNs, how do you think we as a team should embrace this strategy? What should we do? What do you want us to do? I know you've been talking about it, but.
So a very pertinent question. So if we have to change the scale and we have to change the dynamics, the fundamental change has to happen in our individual mindset and skill set. Two things. So that's the very reason last year we established the TATWA Learning Academy, which is a very sincere and serious effort driven by one of the topmost leaders of the organization. The mandate here is every TN must be given an opportunity in the dimension of the services that we are looking at to offer. They will get that platform under the TLA in digital form and physical form to harness their skills, become experts. At the same time, we also borrow expertise in terms of bringing in fresh blood into the system.
So, guys, I hope you all heard what he said. How is he going to make, opportunities are going to be present to you. They are not going to spoon feed you or breastfeed you. It's in front of you for you to eat, almost like the dinner that we are getting served today. Right? It is up to you to take that and then probably contribute in this journey. And if you're serious about your career, it will automatically reflect in TATWA achieving what it needs to achieve. With that said, what are the specific market insights that influence the development of this strategy?
See, I think, let me tell you, Koushik, when I think of TATWA 2.0, a couple of things comes into mind. First is that TATWA need to be a global brand, have an international presence, presence in different market. We are pretty strong in Indian market. TATWA is a brand, TATWA is a name in the Indian market. But we want to expand into international market. Second, that we want to, the company should run by professionals, the strategists into professionals, because who are the best people to run the company. It's not like that me and Tapendra and Shruti, whoever. People who have worked in that part, they should take the company to the next level. That's the objective. Fourth one is that you see that we have completed 4 life cycles of, in business, 5 years is a cycle, right? 20 years we have completed and 22 years running. So 4 plus cycle we are conducting. So we have something inside, but that is with this strength of TATWA of 25 years of experience and expertise, and the opportunity in the market. And the thing is happening right now, we don't want to go organically. Also, we want to go inorganically in the means that we want to acquire a couple of companies in India and outside so that we will scale fast. So these are the few things propelling and guiding us, and talking to many people like you and other strategy guys who constantly telling us the right time to enter into market. This is the insight as helping us, guiding us to take on the side.
Thank you. Tapen, this is not there in the cue card, okay? So it's a completely out of syllabus question. So how do you think the current strategy aligns with our vision of TATWA? Are you making any changes to your TATWA vision, or what is that?
So it would be, very naive for most of them to know, why when TATWA was incepted, we could understand very clearly that technology is here to stay. And technology is only going to go impact in everyone's life deeper and better and wider. And that's what today is happening. We see technology as tech, as health tech, as ed tech, as you pick up any industry, and it is paired with tech today. So I think we could very well believe that we are entering into a services market, into a services dimension, which is never going to get over. So fundamentally, our vision that we were created, the mission statements that were created, were in connection to solving challenges and problems, and we fundamentally believe that they will stay relevant till the world exists, and hence we are absolutely on the right track. Just that the velocity is changing, the speed is changing, the markets are changing, the customer persona is changing, but at heart and at services, we still remain what we are, committed, and committed to solve problems to the core.
So just to add a perspective to what Tapen said, you heard from Partha about the statistics on number of companies that succeed, right? A number of companies that fail. We are talking about the top 20 percentile. Now, if you have to be in top 20 percentile, you have to be doing something right. One such right that you have done is what you see on the wall there, the 5 elements that has stuck to the foundational building of TATWA, right? And I think in the 2.0 strategy as well, one of the key things when we discussed during the early stages was to say that we don't want to let go of what got us here in certain elements, and one such element is the character of TATWA driven by these 5 elements, right? So I want you to have that at the back of your mind. I hope you're also watching some of the slides that are coming behind us, and these are aligned to those 5 elements, and there are specific outcomes associated with it. And if you have any questions, you have Amar here in the audience whom you should tap into and ask him, why did we do those slides, right? With that said, how are you going to measure the success of this whole journey?
It's a very interesting question, Koushik, because let me tell you that since beginning, TATWA, we are not only for the revenue or creating wealth, we also do impact on society. So my point, when we are going to TATWA 2.0, also will have similar value system. So we will not measure by the number of the millions of dollars we are earning. Same time also see how many lives we are going to change and impact. That's the measure. A couple of 2 things I think will give equal importance while measuring the strategy.
Perfect. So what also I want you to take back is, if you don't reach this number in 2030, it's absolutely okay, right? It's okay to move that milestone, but not the goal that you are aiming to achieve, because end of the day, that impact is very, very critical. And how are you going to take this to all these people across?
So, yep, that's the most difficult thing. So we have been talking about that. If 3 people team could build a 3,000 people team, so can this 3,000 people team build a 10,000 people team? And can I get a yes for my team out there? So if this is the velocity at which we will operate, we will never get there, guys. So can we have a louder yes to making a 10,000 people company of this 3,000 people company?
Yes!
So that kind of answers your question. So now the leadership has expanded from 3 to 30, who we proudly call as Super 30. Our customers have realized that, okay, it's not just Smriti, David, Tapendra, Ashkant, or Vikram, or Sambit who are doing things. There are a lot of other movers and shakers. There are many dimensions to what our services are, and each of these verticals are growing at a very, very fast pace. So, again, we have to sharpen our skills, we have to sharpen our attitude, and go out to the world with a lot of courage. Of course, we might fail in many cases, but failures doesn't stop us. That near-life experiences, near-death experiences, we have all gone by, and we are surviving, and hence, I'm sure this gang of achievers that you see will celebrate someday the billion.
Excellent. So this will be my penultimate question on the risks of this implementation that you foresee, and how do you plan to mitigate on those?
You see, we are doing business as an entrepreneur, you understand risk is a part of the game. The more risk, more return kind of things. We strongly believe that risk should be there, Yeah, we have to proper strategy to mitigate that one. Yes, we have seen pandemic, we might have another pandemic. Or we are planning for IPO does not work out. Or we are going for a lot of mergers and that does not work out. But let me tell you that every failure also gives you a lot of learnings. And that we are taking on the strength that learning will add a lot of value, give a lot of learning to us, so that we will take the next right step. So that's why I'm telling that we are, once we're determined, want to committed that we will do it, I think they will show their results and they would perfectly will come out with that.
Excellent, excellent. Guys, what does that mean to you, the statement that he made? I don't know if you grasp that. What is he saying is that TATWA leadership will be open to accepting your failures, which means don't shy away from doing things. Don't shy away from getting up and saying, hey, I tried this, I failed. Because that learning is what is going to build us into every step that we are going to move forward. And that's the commitment you have from the founders that says, it's okay, let's take that risk. Okay, and I'm committing on their behalf, as a consultant would do. Last question to you would be about how do you plan to implement this whole thing?
All good things comes in small packages. And hence the TATWA 2.0 will be a realized dream in very, very small pieces, a step at a time, a step at a time. And we are all meeting for our strategy meet very quickly, which we call as Chintan. And this time probably we'll name it Chintan 2.0. And that's where we formulate how far we have gone and how do we take it forward. This 365 days has to be broken down into 4 quarters. These 4 quarters have to be broken down on months. And each of our team members has at least understood that they have to come out with commitments. They have to own the commitments that they make. And of course, we'll all try, we'll fail, few will succeed. And that's part of the process. And hence, we don't want to do that as you know, we don't have a magic wand which will make things happen, but we believe in hard work. That's something that nobody can take away from us. We are extremely committed to what we kind of say. That also cannot be taken away from us. Our leaders are here who have proven themselves to be here, and that's what is the fundamental belief, and that's the process that we will kind of take.
And you already committed to Partha that you will start tomorrow with a different approach with all those 4 points that he gave as a takeaway. So that will be the starting point. Do you want to give any last closing comments? And while you think through that, I don't mind taking questions from the audience. So if any one of you have questions, we can take 2 or 3 questions. Maximum, anybody wants to ask question? No hands? We won't take it too long. Dinner will still be served. Okay, so you too.
So at the last, I could tell my TNs that we are committed, we are determined. We have already shown our determination in 2002 to come out to this stage. I am sure if we are working together with a commitment, with a clarity, with a proper value system, nobody can stop us to attaining the goal. Maybe we will be missing year or 2, or we will be attaining before that, but we will do it, we will make it.
Excellent. Tapen, your seat.
I would want DOP to play the TATWA 2.0 AV just to re-emphasize on what we said. And I think it all captures the essence very beautifully. I think the AV will do the talking. And then we will land up onto the action ground and see that how this dream is
Fabulous.
kind of put to action.
Fabulous. Thanks, Tapin. Thanks, AK, for this opportunity. Thanks for doing this. I just want to leave you all with a couple of points. One of the things that we have finalized in the strategic approach is, TATWA, as you know, the 5 elements. You will see the AV in 2 seconds. We have also put a very step-by-step approach. I was expecting them to answer and probably do a litmus test stating if the PPT slides have gone in. We talked about 3 core strategies. We're going to call that as Jnana, which means the next 4 years for the 100 million that Tapen was talking about is going to be driven by the knowledge pursuit. And you already said you have a quest for perfection that can be achieved only when you have the appropriate knowledge, pursuit for knowledge, right? So that's going to be the first phase, Jnana. And then we are going to have Bhakti, right? While I sound too spiritual here, that's not what I mean. When I say Bhakti, I'm referring to commitment to certain process, commitment to your customers, commitment to your stakeholders. So my expectation is that that will be the second phase of the strategy. And the last phase will be karma, which is naturally the outcome that's going to come out of this whole story. So if you do the first 2 appropriately, there is nothing stopping you to get to the $1 billion. So I wish you all the best and good luck and get going with the video.
Hello. On the onset, I want to thank Koushik for spending time with us, bringing his whole sort of life experiences, he's co-articulating the vision. And we will be really thankful that you spend more time. You keep on dreaming on behalf of us as well. So you think about Tattwa in your sleeps, wake up and then act for Tattwa as well. So thank you for being there, Koushik.